Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of our Best Warbots 2023 for HQ18. If you've not seen part 1 yet, go and check it out, guys. Tex is back for part 2. Thank you again for joining us, Tex.
Well, I thought I'd better come help finish the list off, right?
Yeah. So, obviously, we went through the list, as you can see below, went through part 1, so we're back for part 2. But now we're getting into the nitty gritty of the top 7 bots. So these are the bots that you should be thinking, I need to have these in my team. And so hitting it off at number 7, we have got Brainstorm and Skyhawk. And the reason it's so high is I placed him way up. I think I placed him in second place of top warbots.
Yeah.
Super good against that cluster. We know there's huge focus, probably too much focus, if I'm honest, on that cluster right now. I think it's the cheapest option to get rid of it. Most effective, it slows, does damage. I absolutely love this guy. I actually got him because I was chasing pipes and got this guy and thought I'll level him, see how it goes. Seeing a guy in my alliance using him, thought I'll try it out, and I've never looked back since. And I think he's absolutely immense.
I mean, look, he sat outside my 8, but was in the kind of top 12ish. Like if I was to sub a bot, I would look at this guy because either what potentially could come or how I see people use him. As you said, for the clusters, I think it's a good option for it, right? And if there's a need for a bot and it suits it, it feels like it should be a no-brainer that people should do the most easiest thing to counter stuff. If you got this guy and you struggle with the cluster, you're not going to struggle.
Yeah, very good bot. Can get expensive, multiple uses, but we're just using him for that one use, really. To get rid of that cluster,
Yeah.
it's a cheap option. As long as you've got that trigger to get rid of that sort of shield gen, whether it's a combo, whether it's SG Jetfire, whichever way you want to work it out, as long as you've got that trigger, great when there's a build bot close by. I'm not going to lie. If you can use Brainstorm as a build bot in that cluster, like, easy, very cheap to get rid of. So, yeah, great bot. And then in 6th place, we have Rust, Dust, and Scavenger.
Well, do you ever think this bot would make our list?
If you go back 18 months ago, no, not in a million years. And obviously, the acid and fire meta definitely brought this bot back. It was a bit lower down on my list than yours for the simple reason that I put, I was going to say her, but it's them because it's Scavenger as well. I was going to put them a bit lower because it needs skids, I feel. I feel that if you were just chasing Rust Dust as a new player again, and you were looking at a list and we said, oh, you need Rust Dust, I don't think you'd be that convinced by her.
Maybe, or maybe not. But I mean, look, I've used her in power leveling as well because it's cheap. Like most of the scout types, a bit low on the health, but put a nice range combat. Again, nightstick, adding to the healing.
Nightstick on everyone.
Nightstick on everyone you can. If they can hold a nightstick, give it to them. Adding an alchemist call to Rustus, just healing, right? Just spam heal. So you're healing via melee, you're healing via your attack, and you're clearing clusters, right? Cheap. It's a scout, so ability cost is not high. So there's all these little sort of intricate details that can fit into most playstyles. But yeah, I'm using it for a combo for pathing. For me, if I've gone out of my way, like mine's a sergeant, it's maxed at 70 already. It's like if I'm putting that kind of effort into a bot, it's not just cause I got nothing to do.
Yeah, I think that if this was a list of top combo bots, I would have put her a lot higher. A couple of skids do huge damage in an area. So yeah, if we're talking combo bots, massive value on her own. But then similar to Brainstorm in a way, that Brainstorm on their own without a trigger is not as useful.
Useless.
So true. And next on the list is Minerva and Flatline. So I think we both put these bots fairly high up. And I think you'll struggle to find a team playing in Prime League at the moment without using Minerva or Flatline.
Yeah, I mean, if not, it's just because they haven't got it yet and keep hitting the other 5-star in the batches.
Probably, yeah. I mean, when this spot came out, obviously caused a massive, wow. Everyone was,
it broke LB, right? It broke the event and the reason why we now have endurance events, right?
Yeah. I think she was incredible when she came out. I think the playtest did an amazing job with it. Unbelievable bot. I can't speak highly enough of it as a healer. If you are running a healer, this is the bot, quintessential. I don't think you'll have an argument from anyone in the game. If you said to someone, which healer, if I could get one right now, what should I go for? They will say Minerva or Flatline.
Would you put up there with saying like a 4-star Minerva is better than like 5-star Ratchet, Jack, First Aid?
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Mm.
Maybe.
I would. I would. You know, in terms of we're talking new people who are chasing. You know, if you don't have enough 5-star shards and have crappy luck in the batch picking, you know, and you pick up the 4-star, I think it's going to be just as good, to be honest.
And fourth place is Skids Knockout. So obviously we mentioned these bots coupling up with Rust or Scavenger, but I think the reason these are a lot higher is because even on their own, massive value. Now, I did my video quite a while back saying these guys were massively OP, and still think they are. I mean, obviously we've got the correction for ability 11, and I say that because obviously I didn't feel like it needed it.
Nope. Same.
But still, even with that, still an amazing bot, still unbelievably good, and I still stand by that video of a bot that can do damage, has acid stop healing, damage to walls, damage to bots, such versatility. I think that sometimes it's overlooked that if you're fighting outpost bots and fighting combiners, put Skids and Knockout down, and they're gone in a heartbeat. If you're struggling to path, drop it on a wall cluster. Your bots just slither through it like butter. So many good uses for Skids and Knockout. Probably even underutilized, if I'm honest, for most people. And huge value. And even as a 4-star, I was running 4-star for a long time.
I recommended to people that you don't even need the 5-star to do well. Certain 4-stars, they're a reason why they're so good, right? Like, and you shouldn't overlook them. It's like it's the acid. He brought the acid into to perspective, and I would, if this was old school leaderboard, I think Skids would rival the Minerva style of points because very much a must-have, I think.
And then in third place we've got Twin Twist and
Colagon. I don't know. Coelagon? How do you say
that one? That one. Coelagon. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I rated these bots quite highly, not because of attack, but defense. So I think we mentioned in a previous video that there's bases with Twin Twist and bases without Twin Twist. Plain and simple. The ones without him, quite easy. The ones with, very difficult. And it's kind of a must-have on defense, especially if you're a commander of any alliance, I think.
Yeah, like it really changes who you bring from an attacking style, or even how much you scout. Looking at other people, be like, where is he? I need to use XYZ for Twin Twist, whether it's Combiner, maybe a Warrior, whatever, hologram. You just want to effectively neuter that because that will wipe out your team, regardless of Quintus, holograms, minions, combats, companions. It will not matter. This thing is just a shredder, and I love it.
Monster.
Yeah.
I literally went for this guy in the batch simply for defense, which is very rare for me. I always say prioritize attack over defense. Defense is important, but attack more. But this guy was literally for defense and nothing more. And then in second place we have Rook / Blod. In second place because we obviously both rated him quite highly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to talk about number one yet, but I think that other than, without giving it away, number one, the best outpost popper in the game, has been for a long time. Good health, just very good.
Again, it's more the whole, I'm investing points for popping the op, doing some damage. So there's not much you can ask for really from this type of support bot in the team. And yeah, if you're not having either, whether it's a Rook, RC, Dino bot, it's Rook. Just for me, it comes out on top now. If you can get more properties from the same character without using any more points, use those bots. Yeah, so yeah, I can't recommend Rook highly enough.
And then number one on the list. So can you guess, guys, who is number one on the list? I think if you're in a top war team, I think it's a pretty obvious choice, really. And I think you see this guys on every single team pretty much. Been more and more impressed and actually chase this guy. And you'll say so, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, but even for me, like
And not the
I
back.
wouldn't. It's the class. It's the game changed, making this class just back to being super relevant. If you haven't guessed by now, it's like without the changes that the game made to this class, he wouldn't be in this argument.
And that is Pipes, Stroke, Headstrong. Obviously, super good at distracting defenses. Super good at even popping Computron, taking that hack on board. Super good at dealing with Coelagon Twin Twist. It's just multiple uses, super cheap. You've got the acid that you can use against the cluster as well, against healing. Just, I like this bot again because it's got multiple uses. I think there's a place in the game for bots like this, and why we rate them so highly. Super good.
So here's a good talking point. Obviously, we can sort of segregate, because it's obviously both number one for us, but we don't have him set up the same, do we?
No, we're talking about this actually off stream. That's a good point. So you have your setup with Liege and Bashbreaker with the aim to go into the cluster, is that right?
Yeah, so into the cluster, or not so much a cluster, it's more about negating the Liege core on defense and having the acid. So generally a Liege on defense, gonna be near the shield generator, gonna be around a Micronus. So you have him being able to rush directly into that defense, not get hacked. His acid does the damage around that cluster. Bashbreaker more acid, helping him remove that defense faster. And for me, as long as Liege is removed off the defense, I'm really not worried about anything else on the map. Obviously, Twin Twist from a thing, but again, that's what he's there for. Throw him directly at it, gone.
So when you rush in, do you rush into the shield gen?
Nope.
Take that out first? Are you simply just rush to that cannon and just take it out?
MDS, Shock Tower, whatever it is, straight on that thing.
The reason that I use him is quite differently. I have him set up with Zor and set up with Quintus. Because for me, is that first line tank. So that's why I used to use Blaster with his minions and with Quintus, and now that's now Pipe's job. So I don't rush him into that cluster, so I don't need really the age on him. And so I use Brainstorm to take out that cluster from range. And so I just sort of zip him about. Whoever's the defense that's causing damage, I zip him there. If there's an outpost he's popping, I'll zip him across. So I tend to use him as a cheaper version for sort of Rook, Blot, and Blaster and Soundwave in a way.
So if you essentially replacing Blaster with Pipes, right, and you've given him Quintus, why don't you give him the Taraxodon?
I did consider that, but obviously Taraxodon comes with damage done, and because Pipes is more health rather than damage compared to Blaster, I felt like I wasn't going to get as much healing as I would with Blaster, because the Sharks are more HP heavy rather than DPS heavy. We talked previously about off stream about our playstyles, and I just wanted more DPS in my team, and Taraxodon was more towards healing. So I thought minions, putting the likes of Zor in there, putting the likes of SG Steeljaw, Trip Up, Sidetrack, so all these sort of little minion bots just increase the DPS in my team because it's quite tank heavy and quite healer heavy. So it was a choice between Taraxodon and give him a bit more healing, or giving him a combat and giving him more DPS. And I always think that the one downfall maybe of Pipes is his DPS.
It's partly also why Bashbreaker is on Pipes. That plus 32%.
But my saying is 32% of nothing is still nothing.
True. But I said because I suppose I'm rushing directly into what I want killed.
True.
Right. So we're rushing into that Liege defense, and I spoke earlier about negating build bots. So I would rush Pipes into FFD, kills it quick enough. You're not going to get the protection from the first rush, but thereafter, not a problem. So
I understand. I understand with Bashbreaker you're going to need more DPS to get that down as fast as you can. So I understand that even more DPS on it in that sense. Yeah. Well, there we go. Top 15 Warbots for 2023 for HQ18. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Is there a bot we've overlooked? Have we missed someone off? Put it in the comments, guys, who you think we missed off, whether you agree or not. Do you agree with our top 3, top 5 in the list? Let us know. But as always, big thank you again to Tex from the other side of the world joining me to do these videos.
Waking me up. You get me up early in the morning to these videos. But no, look, I enjoy them. These are great. It's just I think it's great to share this content. That's all we're here for.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys, and watch out for more videos from myself and Tex coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.